I believe, I'm not mistaken, we're coming up on the school. See, that's a church right there, or this is the church, and then that would be the school. That used to be Happy Homes used to be a public school, um, but it's not. I don't know what it is now. It was a private. They did turn it into a private school for a little while. Well, I was gonna ride up in there and get you a couple of shots, but it's pretty creepy back there. We've been in, we used to park up there at nighttime, and we used to park up there at nighttime and just sit there. Like I said, we didn't have nothing to do. We just drive out to the country and find, empty parking lots to sit in and stuff like that. And I don't know, even just looking into the back of the place, it just gives you a weird feeling, for whatever reason. I don't really know why. But anyway, I'm gonna get turned around here. See, there's a lot of cars parked there, which I'm not used to. It stopped being a public school a long time ago. Then it was a private school, like I said, for a little bit. And I don't know if it's still a school or not, but there's a couple cars parked there and one parked at the church, and I am armed, so I'm not going any closer to a school zone, no matter what it is. But anyway, I guess that should give you a pretty good summation of the area, and like I said, you can see. I don't guess I'm gonna go down Gravel Hill today or whatever. I have to go backwards, but Gravel Hill is basically more of the same like it is from Berry Hill. There's not much of anything, and I don't know what, but there's some weird stuff that goes on out there too. We've also seen, I don't know, one night, man, we were in a car out there, and my buddy, I don't know what he saw or what he experienced or whatever happened, but anyway, he freaked out and he stomped on the gas and he would not stop until we got off of that road, Gravel Hill. And me and the other guy in the car, we heard each other call each other's names in the car, right? And we thought it was just each other, and we didn't really pay attention to it. And later on, we figured out each one of us, Andy heard me call his name, and I heard him say Christian. That's what we both heard. And we don't know what Joe heard or what Joe saw, but I had been noticing there was some kind of animal that was pacing our car. And at this point we're doing about 70, and there's some sort of animal in the fields over by the tree line that's galloping on all fours, but it's keeping up with us at 70 miles an hour. There ain't no animal that I'm aware of that will keep up with a car at 70 miles an hour. But at this same point that we're all starting to figure this out, or me and Andy starting to figure out, what's going on, Joe just tears start flowing out of his eyes, and he stomps the gas, and he had this highly modified Camaro, and I don't know, we're probably doing 140, 150 down this road, and if you could see the road, how curvy it is, I don't know how we didn't get killed, but Andy was trying to get the wheel away from him, trying to get him to slow down, but he just would not, and he just kept saying, don't fucking touch me, don't fucking touch me, I'm not stopping until I get the fuck off this road. And he drove all the way to the stop sign, and he said at the stop sign at the end of the road, and he's like, y'all think I'm fucking kidding? And he flipped the light on, and he had tears streaming down his face. And we still don't know what he saw or what he heard, but he very nearly killed us getting off of Gravel Hill Road that night. And like I said, we did see something pacing the car that was abnormal. It was some sort of animal. And, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens out here, man. Like I said, if I sat back and thought about it, matter of fact, I think at a couple points in life, I've sit back and wrote down as much as I could remember. Because I started seeing and hearing things probably fairly early on in life, and it's only progressed. It's not as bad as when I was a kid now, but every once in a while, some weird things do still happen, and like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not insane. At least not at my last medical checkup. I wasn't anyway, which is fairly recent. So I don't recall getting any blows to the head recently. But anyway, this is 700 going back into town the opposite way I came in from the Berry Hill side or whatever. But now I'm going back down 700, which is an old major highway, going from Danville back into North Carolina, another route. But yeah, man, if y'all are ever interested in coming out this way, you know, like I said, I can send you the maps and the coordinates and whatever. Or if you want me to lead you out here, I'm willing to lead y'all out here. You know, I'm willing to help y'all out, you know, however you need. You know, if you need it, just let me know. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate y'all talking to me, or you talking to me the other day, yesterday. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and drive now, I guess. But pretty much that's... I was going to try to get a shot of that. There's a Confederate soldier buried behind a power box. But I believe I would have had to take a left off of Berry Hill to get to that. But nothing ever weird has happened there or anything. It's just, you know, it's just old. And there's actually an old cemetery across from my daddy's old house, too. I wish he was still alive. He could get us into that. I expect you might get some interesting stuff there. It's a cemetery from the late early 1800s. And it's on, I guess it's on the historical register of deeds. So even when somebody bought the property and tore down the old houses and tore down the pine trees and stuff, they couldn't bulldoze that cemetery or those pine trees. So I guess it'll be there forever. But it's one of those that's so old, you'll just be walking, like me and my dad were over there years back, and I just realized I've always been much shorter than my dad, but I happened to look over at him, and I'm about 3 feet shorter than my dad, and I'm like, what the hell? And I happen to realize I'm standing in an not an open grave, but I guess, you know, they used to bury people without vaults, and I guess the top had collapsed in on several, and, you know, I'm standing, you know, 2 feet down in a grave or so, you know, and I didn't realize it at the time because it just looks like you're in the woods until you start looking around, then you start seeing the stones and the little palmetto trees and stuff like that, you know, is planted for decoration, and the ornamental rocks and stuff. Don't pull out in front of me on a golf cart. I got you on camera. That's an old bar right there. Actually, somebody got killed leaving there one night, got killed in this straightaway right here. Supposedly he had a pet falcon that flew out and got in his vision, although I don't think that's really what actually happened. I don't know, I heard the guy's brake lines were cut, but that was before my time, so I really don't know. But anyway, there's an 18-wheeler parked on the shoulder of the road right here, and he hit it wide open, you know, doing 80, 85 miles an hour, and, you know. But anyhow, like I said, that's pretty much, I guess that's pretty much the long and short of it. This old cemetery right here, this is Danview. My grandparents buried here. A lot of my family and stuff is buried here on my mom's side. There is an old section in the back of that cemetery. It's really old and kind of creepy. It's a hill in the back of the cemetery. That's not the cemetery I was telling you about the other day, you know, when I said, you know, we visited and all this weird stuff started happening. But that section of the cemetery is a little weird. But I say that about concludes the tour.